Welcome to HRD Highlights. Today we're going to do a quick refresher on responding to union information requests under 5 USC 7114. This training's been updated to reflect the implementation of Executive Order 14251 at the VA. While the landscape has changed, understanding these principles remains important. So let's dive right in. Before we begin, let's address an important policy change. As of August 6, 2025, pursuant to Executive Order 14251, the VA Secretary terminated master collective bargaining agreements with the American Federation of Government Employees, National Federation of Federal Employees, National Nurses United, and other unions for most VA employees. Police officers, firefighters, and security guards are exempt from this termination and continue to be represented by their unions. Understanding 5 USC 7114 remains important because the underlying statute has not changed, and it continues to apply to these exempt employee groups. So let's continue with the fundamentals. Under the Federal Service Labor Management Relations Statute, when a union requests information, we have a legal obligation to provide data that meets 4 criteria. The data must be normally maintained by the agency in regular business, reasonably available, necessary for collective bargaining discussions, and it cannot be internal management guidance related to bargaining strategy. Currently at the VA, this applies to unions representing police, firefighters, and security personnel. Human resource staff should understand these requirements when working with these employee groups. First, let's talk about normally maintained. This simply means the agency already has the information. We possess it, we maintain it in our regular business operations, and it's within our control. Important note, we don't have to create new data, but we may need to extract existing data into a document format, like pulling information from a database. Next, is the information reasonably available? Think of this as a spectrum. On one end, you have readily available data. That's easy. On the other end, you have extreme or excessive means. That's where you can say no. Most requests fall in the middle, reasonably available. Even if a request takes time and costs money, the FLRA has still found it reasonable. However, if it requires thousands of pages, weeks of work, and significant costs, you may have grounds to push back and ask the union to narrow their request. Now the big one, necessity. The union must demonstrate what's called particularized need. There are no magic words, but they must tell us 3 things specifically. What data they want, why they need that particular information, and how it connects to their representational responsibilities like following a grievance, contract negotiations, or contract administration. If they just say, "We need this to represent employees," that's not enough. They need to explain the actual connection. Let's test this knowledge. The union asked for performance and award information stating they needed to file a grievance on behalf of an employee, which is part of our obligation to represent employees. Have they met the particularized needs standard? Take a second to think about it. The answer is no. They told us what they plan to do, file a grievance, and how that relates to their duties representing employees. But they didn't tell us why they need performance award data specifically. What's the connection? Without that explanation, the need isn't met. We should respond asking for clarification on why this specific data is necessary for their grievance. So what are your obligations when you receive an information request? You must respond in writing and do so timely. If you're providing the information, make sure it's properly redacted to protect sensitive data like social security numbers or protected health information. If the information doesn't exist, tell them. And critically, if you're denying the request, you must provide a specific reason. You can't just ignore it. Failure to respond to a valid information request is an unfair labor practice. Let me give you some quick do's and don'ts based on Federal Labor Relations Authority case law. Do respond to every request, even if it's to say the information doesn't exist. Do respond timely. Delays can be unfair labor practices. Do ask the union to narrow requests that are overly broad. Don't destroy requested information. That's an unfair labor practice. Don't charge fees. Unions are entitled to this information at no cost under 5 USC 7114. And don't just let them view documents in your presence. You must actually provide the information. Let's wrap up with your key takeaways. First, be aware that Executive Order 14251 has changed the Department of Veterans Affairs labor relations environment. Second, information request obligations under 5 USC 7114 continue to apply to unions representing police, firefighters, and security guards. Third, the fundamental principles, the 4 statutory criteria, and need haven't changed. And fourth, always consult your labor relations office before responding to any information requests. These requests have legal implications, so it's important to ensure you're following current guidance and procedures. Thanks for watching this Human Resource Development highlight on information requests. For the complete training, check out the full materials on our portal, and don't hesitate to reach out to the Labor Relations if you need guidance on a specific request. Remember, proper handling of these requests protects the agency and maintains positive labor relations with our exempt employee groups. Until next time, keep learning and stay informed.